Today we will try to understand another concept which is called nesting of method. So we will try to understand what is actually nesting of method, what is the syntax of nesting of method, how to create a nesting of method example in Java. So all this term we will understand. So first understand what is actually nesting method. So we already learned that to call a method of a class, we generally use the object instance like object dot then the method name. Or if the method is basically a static method, then we generally call that method using the class name itself like class name dot then the method name, right? These two way we already learned. Now there is the another concept to calling a method where you don't need to use any dot operator or class name. You can directly use the same method name, okay, and that method call will be happened from another method of same class. Okay, so a method can be called using its name only by another method of the same class, and this is known as nesting of method. So if you bit confused, no need to worry, we will try to create an example and try to understand what is actually nesting of method. So let's check it in Eclipse. So in my Eclipse I have already created a com.demo.nesting method package, and here I am going to create a class, let's say called nesting method example, and here I am not going to check this one because I don't need this main method in this class. So now my class is ready, nesting method example under com.demo.nesting method package. Now let me double click it here. Now under this class let's create a method public static void, and the method name is display message, and where we are expecting a string value which is nothing but name, and the method start here and end here. Now under this method let's create a printing statement, let's say hello, and whatever the value pass while calling this method, that will be printing here. Save this file using Ctrl S. Now let me double click here, and on the same package let's create another class, let's say new class, and give the name of this class, let's say main class, and use this public static void main checkbox. Now once you finish, show your main class is ready, and this is my main method. Now my aim is to call this method of this class. And how we can call this? So you can see this method display message, this method is basically a static method, and to call a static method we can use the direct class name. So under this main class main method we can create a syntax something like this. This is my class name and this is the method name, and here I am passing a name, let's say Arun. So once I save it and try to run it, so it will basically go to this class and try to call this method, and here you can see once I pass a value, let's say Arun, so it will basically print hello Arun. So let's run this one and check the result. So if you run this, so you can see I am getting the result hello Arun. Right now let's say I don't want this static keyword for this display message method. So if I remove this one, then how we can call this method? So definitely we have to create an instance of this class first, then we can call this method using that instance, right? So how we can do that? So here you can see I am getting compilation error because it is now not a static, it's a non-static method, and to call this non-static method we have to create an instance first. So how we can create and declare an instance? So that is basically something like this. So if you check here, for this class I am creating an instance with the new keyword. Okay, so once my instance is ready, so I can again call this display method, and I can also pass some message something like BARUN Barun. So if I call this method, so what it will do? So it will basically go to this class and call this method with name parameter that is nothing but value is Barun, and it will print the value, let's say hello then Barun. Okay, so if you try to run this, so you can see the output is coming as hello Barun. Now what we actually did, we basically did this first statement where we actually call a method using a object instance or a class name itself. Okay, now the second statement, it says that a method can be called using its name only by another method of the same class, and this is called nesting of method. So let's do this scenario now. So let's go to this nested method example class and let's create another, let's say public void welcome message. Okay, and the method start here and end here. Now under this welcome message let's create a print statement something like welcome to nesting method example. Save this file using Ctrl S. Now you can see see I have two method, one is welcome message and second one is display message. Now I want to call this welcome message method from this method display message. So in the display message method, the first statement is hello and whatever the name we will pass during the calling, and here we can call this method something like this. So here you can see, to call this method I am simply using the name of this method. I am not using any object instance or the class name itself. Okay, so I am simply calling this method by the name, and you can see I am calling this method under another method. That's why it is called nesting of method. Now if I try to run our main class, so it will basically call the display message method with a parameter Barun, and it will go here, and this parameter value is nothing but Barun. So it will first print hello Barun, then it will call this method which is basically nesting of method, and under this method it will print welcome to nesting method example. So let's run this class. So if you run this class, you can see the output message is coming something like this: hello Varun, then welcome to nesting method class. So you can understand that we are actually calling this method under another method of same class, and this concept is called nesting of method, where we are not using any object instance or the class name itself. So now hope you understand the second statement, that is basically a method can be called using its name only by another method of the same class, and this is known as nesting of method. Let's meet in our next class.
I believe this video has helped you to understand about the topic. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, click on the bell notifications and select all so that you don't miss any video from this channel.